Hi there everyone, my name is Richard McMahon and in this free training video I'm going to teach you how to pass psychometric tests. So I'm going to include some tips on how to pass and also some questions and answers. Please stick around and watch the video because I'm also going to give you some free resources. So at the end of this video you can find out how to get access to some free tests. But it's really important that you watch it from beginning to end because I'm going to cover some really important tips and strategies for you, to help you get the highest scores possible in any kind of psychometric test. So what are we going to cover? I'm going to give you some exam busting tips for getting the highest scores possible, and also a couple of things that you really need to look out for. I've been helping people to pass career related tests for the last 14 years, and there's a common theme with those people who pass. Okay, so make sure you watch the video from beginning to end. We'll look at some numerical reasoning tests, we'll look at verbal ability tests, non-verbal reasoning tests, concentration tests, mechanical comprehension, and also some checking tests as well. Psychometric tests are basically a measurement of your ability to answer test questions. Many employers use them. Now, the important thing is that they will give you a set number of questions to answer, usually in a time frame. Okay, and that time frame is usually quite tight. And on that basis, the first important tip is that you need to practice as many psychometric test questions as possible, but under timed conditions. Okay, so before you go to test, what you don't want to do, and a lot of people do this, is they head over to the psychometric test or they do the one online that the employer is providing, but the first time they're practicing under time conditions is at the real test, which is no good, okay, because then they panic and something else happens, which I'll come on to in a second. So you need to be used to practicing these under time conditions. So what I'm going to do is give you loads of sample psychometric test questions today. I'm going to walk through them with you in a normal, safe practice pace, and then I'm going to give you a facility that you can use to access online and practice under time conditions. So this is something to bear in mind. Really important, guys, is let's say there are 50 questions that you have to answer in the test, and the test provider gives you 30 minutes to complete the whole test. Well, you might think, oh, that's all right, I've got half an hour, but really that only equates to 36 seconds per question. Okay, so really important to think about that because a lot of people will spend a minute or two on a question and then they're running out of time. And this leads me on to the next important tip, is that most psychometric tests can't really be fully finished in the allocated time frame. And this is done on purpose because it's designed to put you under pressure. Now, many people then, once they start to look at the clock and see there's only a couple of minutes left, they start to wild guess. Because a lot of psychometric test questions are in what's called multiple choice nature, and this is the kind that I'm going to give you in a second. But they start to guess because they think, well, I've got a 1 in 4 or a 1 in 5 chance of getting it correct. Now, some people will say this is a good idea. The only time it is a good idea is if you don't lose marks for guessing. But this is the key, the next tip. Don't wild guess unless you know for sure you're not going to lose any marks for incorrect answers, because a lot of psychometric test providers will deduct marks for incorrect answers. Okay, so bear that in mind. You're better off answering 30 questions out of the 50 in the allocated time, but getting them all right. That's my view. Next tip, really important. So you're here at this video and you're watching the training strategies that I'm going to give you. That's great. You're off to a great start. But then once you finish, get access to my free psychometric testing question suite, and you can use those on your computer, your laptop, or even on your smartphone, because the facility that I've got for you today is not only free, but you can use on your smartphone and practice on the go. Okay, let's get straight into it. Some sample test questions. Question number 1, which of the following words is the odd one out? Okay, and I'm going to give you tips as I go along. So we've got A, pink, B, salt, C, ball, D, red, E, grey. Now sometimes there's a theme. Okay, so it could be like animals, for example, or it could be colours, and one of them isn't. But in this instance, okay, the simple fact is that only one of the words has got 3 letters and the rest of them have got 4 letters. So pink has got 4 letters, salt, ball, 4, and also grey. But there's no other common connection between them. And you have to look out for these kind of things. It's not just a connection between the actual physical words, it might be the number of letters. Okay, like all of the words might start with the letter P and one of them starts with the letter S. That might be the odd one out, so look for those things. So the correct answer here is D, is red. That's the odd one out. Question number 2, which of the following words is the closest to the word tentative? Okay, so we've got A, caring, B, desire, C, watching, D, hesitant, and E, scared. Now you can cross out a lot of these, we can cross out tentative is nothing like desire or watching. Scared, maybe. Caring, no. But the answer is D, hesitant. The term tentative can be used to describe something that is done without confidence, i.e. being hesitant. Now, let's say you're in the test, psychometric test, in the real one, and you've got no idea what the answer is to this question. Leave it and move on. Don't sit there looking at it, okay? Leave it and move on, but make sure you leave a space on the answer sheet, okay? Because if you're not going to put an answer in here, you need to come back to it later on if you've got time. Question number 3. Bona fide means the same as what? Bona fide. What does it mean? Now, I want you to have a go at these, guys. Please put your answer in the comment section below the video. I'm going to do this frequently throughout these videos, get you to try them. So you can pause the video at this point if you want, and you can answer the question. So bona fide means the same as what? A, correct. B, genuine. C, guessing. D, caring. E, wanting. So put your answer to question 3 in the comment section below the video, please. Question number 4. Okay, so what we need to do here with this question, start at one of the corner letters and move clockwise around the square, finishing in the center to create a 9-letter word. Now the key is you've got to read the question carefully. Start at one of the corner letters. So you could start in the top left, the top right, the bottom right, or the bottom left, and move clockwise around. So that's the key, is to move clockwise. And if you think of the way a clock goes, it moves from left round to right and all the way around. So you can't go the other way around. Okay, now with this, I can spot a word straight away. This one's relatively easy. Okay, so I'm going to add a T there. I'm going to add an A and S, which is abstract. So I'm starting in the top left-hand corner, relatively easy. Abstracts. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, I want you to have a go at this one. This is tougher. Okay, question number 5. Start at one of the corner letters and move clockwise around the square, finishing in the center. So the last letter of the word you come up with should be S, because you've got to finish in the center. So you can create a 9-letter word. So you would either start with U, you might start with a blank, start with L, or start with B. So you've got 4 choices. So you'd have to decide if you started there in the top right, what letter that would be. So put your answer to question 5 in the comment section below this video, please, and I'll mark it for you. That's quite tough, that one, but give it a go. Question 6. Okay. Which direction should the wind blow in order for the plane to take off with the shortest runway? And this is like a form of like mechanical comprehension kind of test. So we've got the wind, the plane here, A, heading into the wind, or we've got the wind behind the plane. So most people would say B, but unless you know this, the answer is A, because an aircraft should always take off into a headwind. Okay, should always take off. And that's the reason why if you go to an airport, and when you're flying on a plane, if you look out the window before you take off, you should see one of those like orange windsocks, and that's to tell the air traffic control tower which way the wind is blowing, and it also helps the pilots because they need to go into a headwind. Okay, question 7. How much weight in kilograms? We're starting to get a little bit more tougher now. How much weight in kilograms will need to be added in order to balance the beam? So we've got a beam going all the way across here. Now this is important. You've got the weight on the left, and we need to work out how much needs to be placed on the right here to balance the beam. The pivot point is here in the middle, and it tells you the distance here. Now this is also important. The distance, if it's the same, then the weight should just be the same on the right hand side because the distance underneath is the same. So answer C is 30 kilograms. You'd put the same weight to balance it. Now it gets a bit tougher. How much weight here, question number 8, will need to be added in order to balance the beam? Now, a couple of things. We've got 20 kilograms on the left, but on the right hand side, so there's 2 meters there distance, and then on the right hand side there's 4. Now a lot of people fall into the trap and they would literally double the weight and put 40 on the right hand side. That's not the correct answer. You have to halve it because it's double the distance. You need to halve it. So the correct answer is 10 kilograms, answer A. You'll go. Okay, I want you to have a go at this. Based on what I've just taught you, put your answer to the question in the comment section below the video and I'll mark it for you. Question 9, how much weight in kilograms will need to be added in order to balance the beam? So don't forget to look at the distance between here and then tell me what the answer is. It's either A, 10 kilograms, B, 20, C, 30, or D, 40. A bit tougher, that question. And don't forget, if you need to, just pause the video and have a little bit of think about it. There's no time related on this particular question, okay? I just want you to get it right. Next question, number 10. Now, this is a different kind of psychometric test question. We've got a pie chart here, and this represents the number of crimes in a 1-month period. And the question is, what percentage of the total number of crimes were assault related? So we can see there across the top, we've got 24 assault-related crimes. So it says what percentage of the total number. So what we have to do to calculate this is, number one, work out the total number of crimes. So you add all of them up, and it comes to 150. Step two, then we need to work out 24, which is the assault-related crimes, as a percentage of 150. And to do that, we do the following calculation. 24 divided by 150 multiplied by 100, and that will give us 16%. Therefore, the correct answer is C, 16%. Let's take a look at another sample. Number 11. Same pie chart, but the question this time is, what was the average number of total crimes? So we're working out percentages, but now we're working out averages. And to work out the average, what we need to do is, again, what's the total number of crimes? So we add them all up. It comes to 150. Step two, divide the total number of crimes by the number of crime categories. So the categories are, we've got assault, burglary, car crime, robbery, arson, and other related crimes. So that means that they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to do the answer, 150 for the total divided by the number of categories, the correct answer is 25, which is A. And that's how you work out the average number. Question 12. Okay, your go. I want you to do this one, guys. What percentage of the total number of crimes were burglary and arson related? So what percentage of the total number of crimes were burglary and arson related? So you've got burglary here and arson. So you work out that. Don't forget, it's the total number of crimes, burglary and arson related. And don't forget, with question 10, I explained how to do this for you. So if you need to refer back to that, please do. And make sure you put your answer to question 12 in the comments section below the video, and I'll mark it for you. Okay, moving on. Getting a bit tougher now. Question 13, a numerical test. Now, the above table shows the sales across 6 countries for the model BMW for a 6-month period. The BMWs are imported to each country from a main dealer. Use the information provided to answer the following questions. Okay, question number 13. What percentage of the overall total sales were sold in April? Now, a lot of people, and this is a really good tip for psychometric tests, what a lot of people do is they look at that table and they panic and think, oh my goodness, there's so much information. But this is a key thing. You only generally need a couple of pieces of information from each table to get to your answer. So if we look at the question, what percentage of the overall total was sold in April? So what we need to do is to know the April sales, which is 189, and the total, but it gives us that. We don't even have to add it up, which is 1,149. So we've got the information that we need. And then to answer this, 189 divided by 1149 multiplied by 100 equals 16.4%. So the answer to the question, what percentage of the overall total sales sold in April? Well, it was 16.4%. Next question, same chart, different question. What percentage of the overall total sales were BMW sold to the French importer? Now again, we've just learnt something invaluable. So we only need, again, 2 pieces of information. We need to know the total number in France, which was 180, and the total number sold, which is 1149. To calculate the answer, 180 divided by 1149 multiplied by 100 equals 15.6. The answer is A. So you're saving a load of time here just by reading the question very carefully. And that's a great tip, is to read the question. Don't get distracted by all of the information on the chart. Okay, so now it's your turn. This question is, what percentage of total imports is accounted for by the 2 smallest importers? And put your answer to the question below, please. What percentage of total imports is accounted for by the 2 smallest importers? So you need to have a look on the right-hand side for the smallest ones, add them up, and then create the percentage. Next one, question number 15. Right, find 2 words, one from each group, that are the closest in meaning. So here we've got confused, enraged, and terrified in group A. In group B, we've got calm, trance, and incensed. So we therefore have to work out 1 word from each group that are closest together. So for example, enraged and incensed are the closest, because confused and calm are not the same. Confused and trance, relatively the same, but not as close as enraged and incensed. And terrified and trance, again, not similar. You could relate them slightly, but the closest, and that's the key. The question is, the closest is enraged and incensed. Now it's your go. 16. Put your answer to question 16 in the comments section below the video, please. Again, find 2 words, one from each group, that are the closest in meaning, Group A, you've got determined, frightened and informal. And Group B, you've got normal, resolute and unravelling. So is it A, determined and resolute? B, determined and unravelling? C, frightened and unravelling? D, informal and normal? Okay, so that's the question. Put your answer to the question below the video, please, to 16, and I will answer it for you. Moving on, we're doing really well, guys. Getting a little bit tougher now. Question 17. Join all of the shapes together with the corresponding letters to make the correct final shape. So what we have to do is look at the top in the shaded part, and you've got the B's which should go together and the A's that go together. And this is a relatively simple one, because in my mind, I can take B here and just move it across to there on the arrow to give me that shape. And then if I take the A and I move it across to the left, that gives me that shape. And then I just need to look, and a process of elimination tells me that it's not B, C or D, but that it's A, because then if I turn that shape around 180 degrees, it gives me the correct answer, which is A. Next one. Okay, and I want you to have a go at this, please. Join all of the shapes together with the corresponding letters to make the correct final shape from A, B, C or D. So don't forget what I've told you. Join the letters up and then put your answer to question 18 in the comment section below, please, and I will answer it for you. So again, if you need to pause the video, please do, to work this one out. Question 19, getting a bit tougher. Work out which option fits best in the missing square in order to complete the sequence. So we've got a sequence across the top of squares. You've got a shape there, then you've got a question mark. So we need to work out which shape from A, B, C or D at the bottom goes here. I can already see some patterns, so I'm looking for a pattern. I can see that across the bottom there is the white triangles, and across the top there's the black triangle. So that means that really the answer straight away has to be D. Okay, that's a quick way to work it out. But if we worked it out another way, you can see that these triangles are pointing to the left. We don't know what's happening here. Then the third one, they're pointing to the left, and the third one's pointing to the right. So that tells me that if these are going left, this one needs to go to the right. Okay, it's not that one, it's not that one or that one, and the correct answer, as I said before, is D. There's usually a couple of ways you can work these out, but it's about looking for patterns and sequences. Okay, and there you go, that would be that one there to complete the shape. Next question, what figure completes the sequence pattern? So again, across the top, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the same shape, but inside you can see that there's squares, circles, triangles and a heart. And we can see here straight away the pattern. There's a pattern here. So there's a black square in the top left of each one. That means that I have to find one in the top left one. So therefore A is out already. So that leaves us with the 4 at the bottom, B, C, D or E. Now, this is important. So we can see here that you've got the square and then a circle. There's a square and a circle, which means that there has to be a square and a circle across the top. Well, all 4 of these do have them, that's fine. But we can also see another pattern. You've got 1, you've got 2, then you've got 4 and 5 patterns in the main pattern itself. That means there has to be one with 3. So we can automatically eliminate E, because that's got 2. We can automatically eliminate B, because that's got 4. So it's either C or D. Okay, so we're doing the process of elimination. We're doing this for 20 seconds now. And we can see there 4. So that has to have the same ones, the black square, the black circle, the white triangle. It's not C, because that has got a black triangle instead of a white one. Therefore, the correct answer is D. When you practice these in a second, because I'm going to give you access to a load of free ones of these in a minute, you'll get really good at picking out these patterns. Next one. 21. I want you to have a go at this. Okay, what figure fits in with the sequence of the pattern? So across the top here, we're looking for the one that goes in the question mark. Is it A, B, C, D or E? Put your answer to question 21 in the comment section below this video. Okay, now you can pause this question again, but please do work it out. It's quite difficult, but I challenge you to get the correct answer. Now, well done for watching all of these so far. What I want you to do is watch the video again if you need to go through the questions, but then some great news for you guys. If you click the link directly below this video, it will take you through to my website. My name's Richard McMunn from the career guidance company howtobecome.com, and you can get free online access to loads of those psychometric tests. Okay, so get access to these psychometric tests and start practicing. Please guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. Give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. That would make me happy and make my day. And also subscribe to the channel. But don't forget to put your answers in the comment section below the video, and just say hi, and I'll say back as well. But don't forget to click the link, and you can get access and start practicing as soon as possible to loads of test questions for psychometric tests on the go. Thank you for watching, guys, and I wish you a wonderful day.